Hello Nitro fans, Racing 393. And today's video, I'm going to talk about a car I've just purchased. So as you can see by the picture there, an Inferno MP6. I'm going to do a quick intro here and then we'll go and look at the car properly. And it's going to be a bit of a Kyosho theme. So, the picture you see before you, an Inferno MP6 Sports. Now, I'm still trying to find out bits and pieces about what makes the Kyosho variants the way they are. There's so many. When you look into it, it's a minefield. I don't know why they made that many. I think they're trying to appease those that at the time wanted to race professionally or at a very high level, and those that just wanted to have a go at a 1/8 Nitro buggy. So you know what it's like. You buy things off eBay. This particular chap's super helpful, by the way. And you're just looking at pictures and description. Unless you know the ins and outs of every little nook and cranny of the car, you never quite know what you're getting. Now, the one I've got was advertised as an MP6 competition buggy. The competition buggy part, I can well understand. You can tell that it's not just an out-of-the-box build and sat on a shelf or whatever it is. So we're going to go through the car I've bought and we're going to just put it side by side with an older one. Now, I've got probably, I was counting the other day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 MP series cars, ranging from, I've got 2 MP1s, if they are ones, which was sort of like 2s and 3s, I think, variants of. I've got what I thought up there, which you can't see at the minute, but an MP5. I say I thought it was. That's the bits I was buying up for it when I was rebuilding it. MP5 and MP6 are similar, however, they're not the same. And I've got an Kyosho to look now. Kyosho Inferno DX. I think I've done a video on that, so I can't remember the details on it at the minute. But anyway, we're going to have a look now at my MP6, but we'll compare it with an older, like a MP1. Let me show you. I know the camera's zoomed in, but as far as I'm aware, this is an MP6, but it's not, how should I say? Try to look at the camera as well. It's not stock. So, that's quite heavy as well. I'm going to sort this out and we're going to start the video. So I'll see you in a sec. So here we are in today's video. We're going to be talking about this car here, which is the, as far as I'm led to believe, an MP6. The car you can see here that's on my right is an MP, I think an MP1, 2 or 3. It's a Kyosho Turbo Inferno. There was a Turbo Burns, or it might be a Burns Inferno. I'll have to check my notes. I can never remember which way around that is. So in today's video, we're going to talk about this one and do a little comparison with this one, as in the specifications. Neither of these are stock built. This one is perhaps more stock. This one, it's probably a similar amount of non-stock on this one, i.e. Mainly the engines in these cars. So that's not the original engine in this one, and neither is that one there. So without further ado, I'm going to scoot around the other side of the camera and we'll have a look at this one. Okay, so MP6. Now, this was purchased on eBay. The guy was super helpful, as I said on the intro. It's an MP6 competition buggy. So, based on, from what I can see, you can definitely tell that this was perhaps used for racing, as in just by some detailing on the car itself, so that it, to me, is not a shelf queen or just a hobbyist who, like myself, just runs them occasionally. So
The reason I can tell this is a competition version of the buggy, there's not a lot of difference between this and a stock box version. One of the main things is the change in these, the hubs. I think, I'll have to get my numbers here. Do I know the answer? I've got some cheat notes here. I'm not sure. I want to say that the hubs are either 17mm or 19. I've got a feeling that on the older buggies there were 19mm. I'm just going to have to check. Okay, so I can't find anything that's jumping out at me. And on my MP5, I upgraded to modern wheels so that I could fit modern tyres to it. So these have been upgraded. I've got a feeling these are 19mm to take the more modern wheel and tyres of today. Back in the day when these were built or produced, they had 17mm hexes, so you can get modifications on the hubs to take these modern wheels. You can see this is more modern by the tyres and the wheels. So we'll have a little closer look. Now, one of the main differences with this model is the motor. Now, the one I've got in my original version there, I haven't got the original OS Max motor on it, but I do have an OS Max for it. I've actually got two of them. So at some point I may change the motor. But this particular MP6 has this. You might have seen this box in a couple of other shots on this video, but this is a Hyper 7. No, it's not. Hyper 21, an 8-port turbo engine. So presumably it will take those turbo plugs, which I think are longer from memory. I have to read up on that. But this engine is supposed to be quite a beast. I've never owned one of these before, so I don't know. But we'll have a little closer look now at the details of this buggy, provided my camera stays on, and why I think it's more of a race spec than out of the box spec. Now, one of the first things you'll notice, this is quite a normal thing to do. You put little tags on the body clips, front and the rear one there. I mean, you can do that anyway. I don't see why there's any race spec design in that at all, but I suppose if you want to take the body shell on or off, it's a lot easier, isn't it? So I think more cars have that nowadays. Anyway, so let's take these off. God, I want to move it. I have to sort of, I might have to move the car and hold the camera. So it is fairly stock. Technical difficulties, I do apologise. So it is fairly stock, I was saying. It's got little things on here, you know, like for refueling. You need something on the top of the fuel tank for a quick refuel. What else did I notice on there? I was actually pointing down here. So it's actually got an EFRA, what number is that? Can't see that, 066. So I'm guessing that's a tuned pipe. It's a bit bent, but it's probably a regulation muffler. There's the motor. It's not a pull start, because pull starts do take power away from the motor. So it's a traditional box starter system. They're not standard shocks either. They're not the shocks that would come with this kit. And they're super smooth, I have to say. They feel absolutely incredible. What else is on here? Something else I noticed. Can't remember now. That bit there's for the transponder. The bit that sticks out. It's got a really good receiver in there, but I don't think I'm gonna have to change that for a Samurai one. But apparently the receiver is of really good quality. I like the fact it's got a little antenna. That's quite neat. What else? Pretty sure there was something else. I think, you know, just the general sort of the tidiness of this kit and the way it's been prepared tells me that it was probably definitely used for some form of racing. It definitely, in my opinion, doesn't look damaged, although I have seen some damage. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that bit's for. What is that? Oh, that should go onto there, shouldn't it? The wing. So looking at that, isn't that part of the wing stain, and that bit there, that side's missing? I've shoved my arms in the way then. Yeah, that's broken. Didn't notice that. It's not the end of the world. And how's it been fitted on? Has it been mashed on there? No, it's still on there as standard. But you can see that bit. I might have changed that. So that, you know, that's by the by. It's quite, you know, nicely routed fuel lines. Everything's neat and tidy. Inside this box, I'm not going to take this clip off because it was a bit of a pain taking it on or off, and it's no point for the video nevertheless. In there's all the wiring, reasonably neat and tidy. The receiver neatly put in there, and it's got foam in there as well to keep everything, stop it all jumping around. Yeah, I think overall, very, very pleased with this. It does feel super free. The diffs, that one. So they don't actually need taken apart. So let me put this back. So I've got some cheat notes here, which I'm sort of reading off of the Inferno Kyosho Wikipedia. So I am particularly interested in the 1/8 buggy Nitro scene, especially the vintage side of it. Now, I will do a video later on that includes all the buggies once I get my shed built, which is going to be happening next week. Because I'm so busy, I've got someone to do it for me. Once that's all done, I'll be able to do a full video with all the cars in, and going through a bit more detail, and probably get them started and sort of running, even in the shed for now, just getting them fired up, just so to show that they all work, and they all work. The Kyosho series sort of runs, I was under the impression that it was in the late 80s, or did I get that wrong? Maybe the very first early ones, but it was from around 91 to about 96 is the sort of the golden era. So the MP6, which I'm just going to flick through now. So the MP6, this was model number 31891. It was released, this particular model was released in 1998, the Inferno MP6 buggy. Now, this one came as an unassembled kit, an unpainted body, moulded plastic wheels. I haven't got any to hand, they're upstairs, but you know, the sort of the spoked wheels that you would normally see on these buggies. Semi-pneumatic tyres and a 0.21 or 3.4cc engine, tuned pipe, radio system, starter, and the fuel was purchased separately as you'd expect. So the interesting bit here, which I need to dig into, this is a four-wheel drive model shaft-driven buggy, alloy plate, yes, that's pretty standard. 6mm longer than the previous version. Now the wheelbase is about 6mm longer than the one you see there. Now I've got an MP5 which I built with MP5 bits and purchased an MP5, and it's the same wheelbase as this, which then makes me think maybe that one's an MP5 chassis. I've just put a different shell on it, and that is an MP6, and my MP5 upstairs is an MP6. But anyway, this particular buggy is definitely longer wheelbase than that one. For information purposes, if this video sounds a little bit chopped and hacked, is my filming device is, I don't know, keeps going off. So yeah, as we said, 6 wheel longer. So it's got 3 gear differentials, coil spring shocks, anti-roll bar, rear. So this interesting, it's got a rear anti-roll bar, but it doesn't have one for the front. I think the other one has. I think my MP5 had. Might be wrong. So interesting. Maybe that's a competition thing. Universal drive shafts, dog bone prop shaft, and a full set of bearings, which it will have. So it says here on the notes, to race the Kyosho Inferno MP6, it has to have the best settings for your driving style and provide you with excellent handling and stability. The smallest of changes can make a huge difference in the way your car performs on track. The thing is, back in the day, these cars absolutely, and they still do, I mean they do anyway, don't they? They took the 1/8 buggy series racing, or even world class level, by storm. They won everything. In my notes I have here in front of me, which you can probably see the bit of the page there, I'll have to go through that with a little more detail when I do the full video of everything. So yes, we've purchased an MP6 competition buggy. I don't know whether I'll go any higher than this. The modern buggies, once the cabs go forward, I'm not that interested in. I know they did a MP777. That's in my notes here. I will have to do a little bit of digging on that properly, and I'll make a proper script of this video when I do it for all the buggies, because there's too much information to take on board here by looking at notes and trying to keep it in a flow. So I'm just showing you what I've got at the moment. So a full video of all these buggies will be coming soon. What's your favourite one? Do you have one? If you're interested in the 1/8 Nitro scene, have you got any of these? And if you have, you know, drop me a line. What ones have you got? I mean, what do you think? Is that an MP1 or 3? Or is that an MP5 with a different shell on it? And that is an MP6, to the best of my knowledge. And my MP5, which I'll show you in another video, isn't an MP5, although it was built as an MP5. And then I've got a Kyosho DX. Pretty sure the DX was more the budgeted version for a ready-to-run model for people like that weren't racing and just wanted to have a go at a Nitro and experience the Nitro and the 1/8 buggy scene. I could be wrong there as well, but I've got one of them. It looks pretty similar to this one, but it's more based on that one, but everything laid out like this one. So yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to leave that there at the moment, and I'd like to sort of let me know your thoughts. It's very challenging sometimes trying to read things and do a video about them. But you know, I will do some more research, fix my camera, however I'm going to do that, and eventually show some sort of decent close-ups. I mean, I don't know yet, I might have to get another camera that can do better close-ups once I've got my shed built and I've got more space. There's stuff everywhere at the moment. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this one? What do you think of that one? Have you got any of these? For the purist, obviously that's not the motor, the engine for this one, and likewise that one there is not the engine for that one. But in a previous video I do have another one of these cars, and it's got an older engine in it, so more period correct. But they're all in fairly good condition. So anyway, that's the end of the video for now. Without further ado, thank you very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed this short video, and I'll see you soon for a more detailed video of all my Kyoshos. Thanks for now. See you soon. Bye for now.